Hi guys, welcome to Pandemic Yoga. I'm a little anxious. I've never filmed myself teaching a class before. Welcome to my living room. How are you? I mean, this is crazy, right? It's crazy that we don't have yoga and we have so much to talk about. I have so much to talk about. But thanks to technology and Marisa and Parks and Rec, we can still practice together. So if you're brand new to yoga with me, welcome. This is a great time to start. If you've taken classes with me before, I miss you, I love you, I'm happy to see you. And if you've done yoga before but not with me, then I just want to share like 2 minutes of talking with you just so that you know what my philosophies are in teaching and, you know, what I think about yoga. So three things. I have been teaching for about 15 years. I'm a South End mom. I have 2 kids, middle school and South End. I'm a Cedar Grove mom. I've taught all over. I've taught in all different venues. I've taught all different age groups, and I love teaching yoga. And I love yoga. I believe that yoga should be accessible to everybody. So you don't necessarily need a beautiful fancy studio and gleaming bamboo floors and $80 leggings. You can wear anything that's comfy and you can be in your living room on the rug that your dog chews. I also believe that yoga is for everybody, not just everybody, but everybody, because I don't have a perfect yoga body, but I'm strong and I'm healthy and I love yoga and I love moving and I love that yoga makes me feel comfortable in my own skin. So, number 2 is that I teach a very alignment-based style of yoga, so you rarely will get hurt, but you'll learn a lot. And I'm going to try to cut that down for these videos because I think I talk a lot about anatomy and I'm not really sure everyone's super interested in that. I love that part of yoga, but I'm going to try to not do that as much for these videos so that we just move and feel good and you don't necessarily have to listen to me talk on and on and on. But alignment-based yoga is my thing. That's what I studied. That's what I learned when I was doing my teacher training. And I think it's just a great style of yoga to practice. But any yoga is better than no yoga. And my third philosophy, and I tell this to all my classes and all my students, is that as long as you leave feeling better than you did when you walked in, then you had a really good class. So this is a nice way to start yoga. There's no one to compare yourself to. There's no one else in the room. You know, you're not with 50 other people on a Wednesday night. But hopefully when we're done with, I don't know how long this will even be, 20 minutes or 40 minutes, I don't know. But when we're done, hopefully you'll feel better. You'll feel stretched out. You'll feel a little looser and less crunchy. Maybe your heart will be a little bit lighter and your mind will be a little bit clearer. And as long as one of those things is true, then you had a really successful yoga practice, and that's all I want for you. So I thought what we would do is just move together. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything I want you to see on this video. Like I said, I've never videoed myself teaching before, so I'm a little anxious. I washed my hair for you, and I also shaved my legs for you. So when we're done with this, if you did yoga as a family, if you did yoga by yourself, take a picture and post it on the Parks and Rec site so that we can see all your faces. And also if you have any comments or critiques, good or bad, we're hoping to continue to do this as the weeks go on, but I'd like to do it in a way that makes you guys happy. So anything you want to say, just post it after and Marisa and I will read it and we'll try to tailor the classes to what you're looking for. So I thought what we would do is I would just move. I've been doing a lot of yoga. I've been doing a lot of walking too, right? All over Cedar Grove. I think everyone has. So I'm in a weird place right now in that my hamstrings and my calves are super tight. And then when I do some kind of practice, some kind of yoga, I'm loosening things, but then we're going for a walk 40 minutes later and everything is getting tight again. So I thought I would do what I have just been doing on my own, and you guys just watch and follow along and we'll talk as we go. And you know, if we're done in 20 minutes, then so be it. But either way, it's better than no yoga, and hopefully it feels good and hopefully it's a little bit entertaining for you. So if you're familiar with me, I want you to start, I'm going to do most of this with you. I just want to start you off in a way that's familiar to most of my students. So make sure you have some space and lie down. Lie down on your backs. Okay? Arms are out at your side with your palms up. We call this the big T. I call this the big T. Palms are up facing the ceiling. You're flat on your back. Use your core, your muscles below your belly button. Pull your knees into your center and drop your legs all the way over to your right, coming into a twist. So get the legs down, let the legs settle. You're looking straight up at your ceiling, or you're looking towards your left. And then your left arm is going to unroll from the back, the shoulder blade, out through the fingertips so it's flat on the ground. So knees are over on the right, arm is out on the left, and you're looking straight up or towards your left hand. And then breathe, right? Close your eyes and take some deep breaths. In yoga, we tend to breathe in and out through our nose. If that's not comfortable for you, if you have allergies or a little head cold, then mouth breathe, do whatever feels good. You know, the way I think about my practice and the way I think about teaching has changed over the last couple of years, because I'm not in my 20s anymore. Sadly, I'm not in my 30s anymore. But I believe that yoga should always feel good. So even though you're in a class, maybe you're in a studio, maybe you've got a teacher, maybe you've been watching something on YouTube, just because the person in charge is telling you what to do doesn't mean you have to do it. You need to do what feels good for you. So I'm just going to guide you and give you suggestions. And if it doesn't feel great, then tweak it and make it your own, because yoga is meant to be a very personal practice. Even though it's done in a community for the most part, it's not cookie cutter, right? Everybody's body's different. Everybody's coming to their mat in a different state that day. And you have to figure out what's going to feel best for you and what's going to work best for you. But one of the best things about yoga is that yoga will always meet you where you are. So if this is your first time ever trying yoga and you're comfortable because you're in the privacy of your living room, thanks for coming. That's awesome. But if you're feeling super tight and unflexible and like you're wearing the wrong pants and maybe just that you're not ready for yoga, you're never going to be ready for yoga, but yoga will get you ready for whatever comes next. It will always meet you exactly where you are. So there's just so much good. There's so much good I could talk about, but I wasn't going to talk as much, and I've already talked so much. So bring your knees up to center, drop them down to your left. So now the legs go to the left. The right arm is what you're focusing on. You want that flat out to your side, palm up, and you're looking straight up, or you're looking at your right fingertips. And this whole time you're breathing, right? The breath is so important in yoga. I know that what's going on around us is anxiety inducing. It's nerve-wracking. It's totally out of our control. I read a really interesting article. If you know my family, you know I have a couple competitive swimmers. And so we've been following what they're saying about the Olympics. And I read an article this morning about Michael Phelps and how he's really worried about people that are mentally fragile in this condition. And he was saying, you know, he keeps telling himself and his family, we can only control we can only control what we can control. Everything else we can't put our worry into, we can't put our time into. We have to just trust that God has a plan, or that it's going to work itself out and eventually it will be fine. And that's the case, right? So lie here, try to let your thoughts go, try to focus on your breath, and just notice how you're feeling as you're moving. So bring your knees up to center, and now you're going to either come into a happy baby, which is one hand on the outside of each foot, pulling the feet wide, pulling the knees down into the armpits, or if that's too big for you, put one hand on each kneecap, separate your knees, let the weight of your arms pull your legs wide, and then make small circles on your low back. So you're flattening your spine down into the mat. You're taking out that natural curve for just a minute, and you're going in both directions. So go to the left a little bit, and then go to the right a little bit. You know, I think I am much better with left and right. in my living room on video than I am in real life. If you take classes with me, you know that that's a real handicap of mine, and I feel like I've been pretty on point so far. So, thank you, pandemic. All right, roll over to your right hand side, and we are going to come up onto hands and knees for cat and cow. Okay, so cat and cow, you're on your mat. I like to have everyone come up to the very front of their mat, but I'm not sure if I'll stay in the video if I do that. So spread your fingers nice and wide. Thumbs pointing towards one another. Pointer fingers are going straight ahead. You can curl your toes under, or you can leave your feet out flat, whatever feels best. And on your inhale, you drop your head, press your spine up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you arch your back, stick your tush out, and look up. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And I usually encourage my classes to try to exaggerate these movements because I think it feels better when you do. You want your whole entire spine to be part of this. So make the movements big, right? Really press into the mat. Really bring the shoulder blades off the back. And then do the opposite when you arch and look up. You want to feel this from the base of your skull out through your tailbone. So do a couple of these on your own. Moving to your breath. Noticing how this feels. If you have been walking all over town, this may feel really good on your back. We've been trying to hit Lakeview every day, which is the one between Bowdoin and Ridge. It's a huge hill, and I think when we trudge up the hill, we kind of shrink into ourselves, so this feels really good on my back when we're done. All right, from here, we're gonna come into a balance pose. So let's do right knee and left hand down on the mat. So your left leg comes out behind you. You can't see my foot, but it's flexed. That means I'm pulling my toes in. Right arm up in front of you. Find something to look at straight ahead. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Engage your core. So suck it in to support your low back. And then bring your hand down. Bring your knee down. And we're going to switch sides. Spread the fingers, engage the core, flex the foot, come into a balance. Hand down, knee down, and now we're going to go into a wide knee child's pose. So your big toes are going to touch. Knees are going to go out to the sides. Hips are going to push back towards your heels, and either your forehead, your chin, your nose, something on your face is going to come down to the mat, and your arms are going to go out in front of you. You're doing child's pose with the intention of lengthening your spine, but you're also opening your shoulders and your heart center. And if you tend to have sciatica issues, this is a really good stretch because it wraps around the back of the hip and will help release the piriformis, which squeezes the sciatic nerve. All right, come on up. Let's sit. If you don't have a blanket or a pillow or something underneath your hips, maybe try to find something just to elevate you a little bit so that you tilt forward a tiny bit in the pelvic girdle and you can sit up a little straighter. Okay? I keep expecting to hear someone talk back. I don't know why, because even in my classes, I encourage you guys to. No one talks back but Rich. And now it's deathly silence because my family's all doing their best to stay super quiet for me. So, spread your legs as wide as you're comfortable. Flex your feet. That means toes coming back, heels pressing out. The arch of your foot is getting a big stretch, and the backs of your knees are pressing down into the mat. Okay? Nice deep breath. Arms up. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to fold forward. Lead with your chest, not the top of your head, and come down to where you're comfortable. So we're not trying to round towards the floor. We're just trying to lengthen out of our spine. Remember in elementary school when you did the physical fitness test and you had to forward bend and everybody would bend their head and try to get it to touch the floor? That's not what we're doing. Yoga is way more elevated than that. And I can't get my head to the floor anyway, so. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Now, lots of you have done this with me before, but if you haven't, listen. You're going to walk yourself over towards your right foot, okay? So you have a couple options here. You have this whole expanse on the inside of your leg. I want you to hold something with your right hand. So you're either holding your pants, maybe you've got your hand resting on the inside of your ankle, maybe you're holding the arch of your foot like I am. But reach for something and grip it, okay? Start to pull yourself down a little. If you're holding the inside of your foot, you want your thumb pointing down and your fingers wrapped around. You want to be able to bend your elbow out to the side. That way you have nice full range of motion in your shoulder. So thumb down, elbow can bend out. Now with your opposite arm, your left arm, you're going to bring it out to your side, wrap it all the way up and over, and reach for something on the other side. This pose in Sanskrit is called Janu Shirshasana, which is nose to knee, which sounds crazy, but it's not so far-fetched. So bend your elbows out to the sides, pull yourself down, and see how close you can get your nose to your knee. And because tissues and toilet paper are at a premium right now, if you're really stuffy and congested, maybe wipe your nose on your pants. You're all alone and we're in quarantine, so no one will even know. That's a pro tip from the Davis household. So pull yourself down, nose to knee. And then come on up, walk your hands all the way over to the opposite side. Same thing. So your left hand is going to reach for something along the inside of the left leg or the inside of the foot. I'm sorry you can't see my feet. I can see on my camera that you can't, but my toes are pulling back. My foot is arched. My heel is pressing out so that I'm engaging the back of my calves. And I'm reaching for somewhere along the inside of this leg with my thumb down if I'm holding my foot because I want my elbow to bend out to the side. I want to have full range of motion in my shoulder. So once you get your grip, right arm out, up and over, big rainbow motion, and then pull yourself down. Come on up. Walk your hands back to the middle. Doesn't this feel so good? It feels so good to stretch. It just feels so good. I hope this feels good for you. Come on back down to the middle, to wherever you're good, wherever you're comfortable. Leading with the heart, arching out of the low back, lengthening from the tailbone up. Nice deep breathing here. And then walk your hands up. Oh my gosh. Keep your legs wide. Let's keep our legs wide for a minute, okay? Put on my good luck yoga hoodie for you. I'm nervous about this. I've never done this before. I mean, I've probably taught 1,000+ classes in the last 15 years, but I'm literally sitting here all by myself staring at my own phone. It's very weird. Very weird. So keep the legs wide, keep the feet flexed. Let's just open up our neck and our upper back and our shoulders a little. So bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Take your right hand. Go up and over your head. Just gently place the open palm right above that left ear and let the weightiness of your arm pull your head down a little. So you're feeling this all in the left side of your neck and into the top of the left shoulder, right? You're feeling everything lengthen. That's what yoga does. It lengthens all your muscles. It makes everything feel longer. So while you certainly need cardio, like biking or walking or jogging or whatever it is you do for cardio, Zumba, which I can't do, you also need the lengthening. So yoga works so well in conjunction with other things. Arm up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left ear to left shoulder, left arm out, up and over. Open palm is going to go right above the right ear. And then, you know, once you're here, figure out what feels best. Maybe if you move your head back a little, you hit that super tight spot. Or maybe if you're a little bit more heavy-handed, you hit exactly where you need to. Play with this and figure out exactly where you need to get that stretch and that lengthening, that release. And then come on up. Nice. So now we're just going to make some small circles with our head. So let's start with left ear to left shoulder. Roll it all the way back, right ear to right shoulder. And then we'll do the same thing going back again. Listen for little Rice Krispie pops. That's a good thing. It means that the little air bubbles are breaking up and popping, and they're creating space for all the synovial fluid to run free and lubricate you. And that's what you want to do. You want to stay lubricated, especially as you stay older, as you get older. Unfortunately, we're going to stay older, but okay, what should we do next? Let's just do a simple side stretch, okay? We're going to stay wide. We're opening the hips without even trying. So you are going to come onto your right forearm on the outside of your right hip, down to the ground, okay? Left arm is going to reach up and over. If this feels okay and your neck is okay, turn your head and look up at the ceiling. And reach with your fingertips across the room. So you're lengthening your side body from the hip up through the underarm. You're lengthening out through your fingertips, and you're trying to keep that left butt cheek, the back of the left hip, down on the ground. Come on up. Let's do the same thing on the other side, okay? So left forearm down. And remember, if you're new to yoga, and even if you're not new to yoga, maybe you just need this reminder, your body's different. It looks the same on both sides, but it's not the same on both sides. So what feels really good on one side might feel really crummy on the other side, or you might need to just adjust it and do it different and not have the same expectations of the pose, okay? So we're gonna do the other side, but it might not feel the same, or it might feel better, but just be aware of that, okay? So left forearm down, right arm up, over. Look up if your neck feels good. Breathe, deep inhales, deep exhales. Nice. Come on up to center. So I think what we'll do now is get up, go into a dog, do a plank, do a windshield wiper for Marianne if she's watching, and then just do a couple standing poses and get back down on the floor, I guess. Because I have no idea how long this has already been. You lose track of time during a pandemic, right? Like, is it Saturday? Is it midnight? Is it 2024? I barely know. But this is where we're at, right? So come on over onto hands and knees. If you used a blanket or something, move it to the side. Adjust your clothes if you need to. And spread your fingers nice and wide. So get into the front corners of your mat if you're not, so you have room behind you to move. Curl your toes under so that you're ready to go up into dog. And on an inhale, first take a nice big deep breath in. Big inhale. Big exhale. On the next inhale, you're gonna press down into the mat with your big toe mounts. And you're gonna press down with your hands. And you're gonna lift your hips high, coming into a triangle shape. So inhale, exhale, and then inhale up. Come on up into your dog. Can you see me? Yep. Drop your heels. Everybody come on up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Press your hips back towards the wall behind you. And then drop the heels to straighten the legs and lift the hips high. Nice deep breathing here. Check your stance. Inhale forward into a plank. Engage your core. Keep the hips high. Exhale back into dog. 5 deep breaths here. So you can either do 5 breaths in dog or 5 breaths in plank. You decide. You shaking yet? Everybody back into dog. Let's come on down onto hands and knees. Come on forward to lay on your stomach. We will windshield wiper for just a second. Bend your knees up. Just flap your feet from side to side. Just kind of feels good. Can't make a whole class out of it, unfortunately, but it feels good. All right, feet down. Spread your hands underneath your shoulders, nice and wide. Fingers engaged, palm of the hand fully engaged. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Next inhale, press down. Lift your hips. Come on up into your dog. I think I'm off the screen. Now this time you're going to walk your feet back to meet your hands. No, walk your hands back to meet your feet. And come into a standing forward bend. So you're at the front of your mat. I'm in the middle of my mat just because I think you can see me better this way. Standing forward bend. Check your feet, hip width, parallel. From here, we're going to do 3 flat backs. So hands come to the top of the knees. You arch your back and you look up. Exhale and fold. Drop your head. Inhale up. Arch the back. Look up. Exhale and fold. One more. Inhale up. Reach out in front of you for a beach ball. And then sit back into your imaginary chair. Lift the beach ball a little higher. Notice what's shaking. Your thighs probably. Ball to the floor. Hands to the floor. Cross your arms at your elbows. Let the weightiness pull you deeper into your forward bend. And then come on up to stand. Oh my gosh, are you getting warm? It's getting warm, right? Okay. So, I shouldn't have washed my hair. I thought you guys were worth it though. So, feet are hip width apart, parallel. Let's just interlace and press up. Okay, wiggle it out a little. Make some space in your hips. Go to your right. Go to your left. Go back. Come on up. All right, so go back to the front of your mat if you're not there. Okay, we're going to pretend this is the front of my mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward bend, fingertips to the floor. You're going to bring your left foot back into a long lunge. And then turn the back foot down so it's more of a warrior. Right? Everyone's here? We're going to come up into warrior 1. So you're going to face the same direction as your front knee. My knee feels weird. I think it's from walking. Bend deep into the front knee. Arms are up, you're looking straight ahead. Open up into warrior two. Now your hips are facing sideways. And from here, start to straighten the front leg. 3 options, okay? You can bring your front hand to the inside of the front foot, to the top of the front foot, or to the outside of the top foot, which is what I prefer. Straighten the front leg and extend up into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Nice big breath in. Hand to the floor. Come onto the toes of the back foot. You know, let's go wide actually. Go into a wide-legged stance from there. Straight legs, forward bend. Come on up to a flat back. Keep your fingertips on the floor. Ooh, my hair looks amazing. Exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back. Lengthen out from the tailbone. Exhale and fold. One more. Inhale up. Gosh. Exhale and fold forward. Now this time you're going to walk your hands over and pivot. So your left foot is facing front. Your back foot is the one that's flat down on the ground. Bend into the front knee. Find your stability, find your balance. Come up into your warrior one. Remember on Friends when Ross was yelling pivot, pivot? That's what I just thought of. Open up into your warrior two. Big breath in. Now start to straighten the front leg. Decide where you're going to put the front hand. You have the same 3 options. So inside of the front foot, top of the foot, behind the foot. But remember what I said before, what worked on one side might not work on this side. So play with it and be gracious with yourself. We're in a global pandemic. So plant your hand and then extend up into your triangle. Reach up towards the ceiling. Ground down with the opposite hand. Big breath in. Exhale the hand to the floor. And then let's step back into dog. Come on into your downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. And then gently onto your knees and into your wide knee child's pose. Next time we try to do this, I'm not going to try to be cute with clean hair. It's just going to be in a messy mom bun, and I won't feel like I'm suffocating. Wide knee child's pose. Come on up. And just like you did in the beginning, make your way onto your back. So make sure you have space. Lie down on your back. Get comfy. We're going to talk for a minute. And then you can go back to your 2,000 piece puzzle or your macaroni art craft or your 13th walk of the day. But lay down and get comfy. Bring your arms out, palms up. Let your feet flap open towards the sides of the room. Close your eyes and find your breath, right? Inhaling and exhaling through the nose if that's comfortable for you. If not, then do whatever. Just breathe. So for this last minute or so, you're going to let your mind wander. That's hard, right? Some people say this is the hardest part of a yoga class, this relaxation, shavasana, the stillness part. It's called corpse pose for a reason, because you want to lay and be that still and be that mindless. It's tricky though, especially with everything that's going on. But you know, I have found for me, and I think with my kids too, it's not an ideal situation that's going on right now, but it's been okay, right? Like, we're doing the best we can with schoolwork. We're doing the best we can with what we get at the grocery store. We're going on walks. We're all home to eat dinner at the same time every night, which hasn't happened in literally 8 or 9 years in our house because of swimming practice. It's kind of forced us to be, it's forced us to simplify, which hasn't been a terribly bad thing. So maybe laying here like this for you isn't so challenging and you're able to just empty your mind. Maybe you're thinking of a million things. If that's the case, pick one if you have to. Just know that it's all still going to be there when we're done. But if you could just take this next 30 seconds and be really, really present in this moment, notice how your body feels. Take a minute to thank yourself for maybe trying something new or just doing yoga in the middle of your living room with me, whether it's new for you or not. You know, self-care is so important, especially when we're in the middle of a global pandemic. I keep saying that, and my son keeps saying, it's just a pandemic, it's not global. But global makes it sound that much worse, and it's just the craziest thing. It's hard to even wrap my head around it. It's so crazy to me. But we're going to be quiet for like 30 seconds, and then we're going to say goodbye. Okay, so close your eyes and relax. All right, guys, start to move your fingers and your toes a little bit. Open your eyes and either go over to your right side and push yourself up to a comfortable seated position, or just rock right up to sit. Hands come to your heart in prayer. And we always end yoga classes with the word namaste, which means that which is divine in me honors and bows to that which is divine in you. So even if you're feeling messy and scattered and out of control, there's still something divine in you. And I am so thankful you took the time to do this class. I am so thankful for the great Parks and Rec program we have here in Cedar Grove. If you liked this and you would like us to do more, please comment and let us know. And in the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, stay 6 feet apart, right? Hands to your heart, big breath in. Exhale. One more, inhale. Namaste. Bye, guys. Take care.